Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my students? I hope that you're happy and healthy and ready for the fourth part of the expansion. If you can open your books, page 68. The number 5, language plus here. Language plus. If you remember, we'll be talking also today about idioms. Do you remember what are idioms from our previous lesson? Yes, so let's read the definition of idioms together. Idioms are a type of figurative language, which means they are not always meant to be taken literally. Idioms express a particular sentiment, but they don't literally mean what the individual words themselves mean. So it means that don't take the words literally. Don't take the literal meaning of the words. So look at the pictures. What's the meaning of each idiom? So the pictures on page 68. What's the meaning of each idiom? Do you know? Let's look at them together. Number 1, to know the ropes. When someone says, I know the ropes, are we talking about an actual rope? Are we talking about an actual ropes? So this is an idiom, of course. So the meaning here is that to know how to do something. When you say, I know the ropes, it means that you know how to do something. Number 2 here, start from scratch. Start from scratch. Is there something scratching? No. So when you say start from scratch, it doesn't mean someone is actually scratching something else, but it means when you say, I'm going to start from the scratch. So let's see the correct meaning here. To begin something without using anything that was prepared before. So to begin doing something without using anything that was prepared before. Race against time. Is someone racing? And the opposition is time? No. So what do we mean when we say race against time? Let's see the correct answer here together. Try to do something even though you have a very little time. So try to do something when you have very little time. So now we say it's a race against time. For example, when you have a very long homework and it's due tomorrow, it means that you have a race against time to finish this homework before the the deadline, let's say, come. So keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the ball. So do you literally take your eye and put it on a ball? No. So it means to be alert and pay close attention to what is happening. When someone say to you, keep your eye on the ball, it means to be alert, to be focused, and pay close attention to what is happening around you. Get the ball rolling. So we have 2 idioms using the word ball here. Get the ball rolling. Is there an actual ball that you roll? No, of course. So it means to start something so that it can start making progress. So this is as a ball rolling. It's not stopping. So to start doing something so that it can start making progress. Go overboard. Go overboard. So this one means to do something in an extreme way. When you say, I went overboard, when you say to someone, I went overboard, it means you went to the extreme. It means you did something in an extreme way. So match these idioms about sports to the pictures. Then use each idiom in a sentence of your own. If you open your books, page 68, of course, match the idioms about sports to the pictures. Then use the idioms in your own sentences. Number 1, we had to race against time to complete the project on time. Again, we had to race against time to complete the project on time. So this idiom goes with which picture here? Because remember, the question is to match the idioms with pictures. So number one, we had to race against time. Number one goes with the letter C. So number one goes with picture C. Number two, someone needs to get the ball rolling. We can't keep talking about things and not take action. Number two, someone needs to get the ball rolling. We can't keep on talking about things and not take action. So number two goes with, let's see the correct answer here, with picture E. Number three, you'd better ask Andy about how to get some stationery. He knows the ropes. So you'd better ask Andy about how to get some stationery. He knows the ropes. Remember, knows the ropes, it means someone who knows how to do things. So number three goes with which picture here? Which letter? Let's see the correct answer with the letter A. Number four, you need to keep your eye on the ball if you want things to run smoothly. So you need to keep your eye on the ball if you want things to run smoothly. So number four goes with which letter here? Yes, it goes with the letter D. Number five, having worked through the night, we found out that the subject had changed. So we had to start from scratch and make a new poster. So they're making a poster here. Having worked through the night, we found out that the subject had changed. So we had to start from scratch, from the beginning, using different materials and make a new poster. So number five goes with B. Number six, in her attempt to do the best she could, she went overboard and invited far too many guests to the wedding. So in her attempt to do the best she could, she went overboard to the extreme and invited far too many guests to the wedding. So number six goes with F. Number six here, writing. Tools for writing, avoiding wordy sentences. Wordy sentences, sentences with too many words that are unnecessary. Let's read and understand what does this mean. Wordy sentences can make it difficult for readers to understand your meaning. Try to write clear and direct sentences so that your ideas are easy to follow. So this is an easy task here. Write clear and direct. Don't use too many words. Let's take some examples here. Avoid unnecessary repetition of words or ideas. So let's take the wordy, then the revised version. All the clothes in her wardrobe are quirky and unusual. So this is too many words here. All the clothes in her wardrobe are quirky and unusual. The revised here, her wardrobe is quirky. So they have the same meaning. The difference is that here there are too many words. This one is direct and clear. This one, the revised version, is direct and clear. Her wardrobe is quirky because we understand wardrobe, it means the clothes inside the wardrobe. Number two, delete unnecessary words and replace wordy phrases with more concise words. So delete unnecessary words and replace wordy phrases with more concise words. Let's see the wordy version here. In spite of the fact that they don't have much in common, they still seem to get along. Again, in spite of the fact they don't have much in common, they still seem to get along. Let's see the revised version here. Although they don't have much in common, they still get along. So this one is, you notice this one is shorter and also it's clear. Although they don't have much in common, they still get along. So we deleted some unnecessary words and replaced wordy phrases with more concise words. So we say they still get along instead of they still seem to get along. Just say get along is enough. So this is the meaning of wordy sentences. It means sentences with words that are unnecessary to deliver the meaning. So inexperienced writers often think that using a lot of words to say something is better. So some inexperienced writers with no experience, think that the more words you put, the better article there will be, and this is wrong. They may even try to pad their essays with extra words. In reality, the opposite is true. The writer's first goal is to be clear. The best thing is to be clear. So not the number of words you put, it's the clarity of the article and the ideas of the article. So you can see here in this chart, we have here some wordy phrase and what we can replace it with. For example, the first one, the reason is that, and we can change it with or replace it with a much shorter version, and it's also clear with the word because. For example, we say, the reason I met you is that because I want to tell you something, or you can say, I met you because I want to tell you something. So there's no need to say the whole sentence. The reason I met you is that I want to tell you something. So you can say, the reason I met you is because I want to tell you something. So this is a much shorter and sometimes it's even clearer version. An example is, this is 3 words here. You can change them for 2 words. You can say, for example. This one is much more clear. You can say, in order to, replace it with to. So you say, I met you in order to tell you something. I met you to tell you something. So they have the same meaning, but you have a much shorter version. Why not use it? I met you in order to tell you something. You can say, I met you to tell you something, and that's it. In the event that, if, for example, when you say, in the event that you saw Muhammad, tell me. Instead of this long version, I can just say, if you see Muhammad, tell me. In the event that you see Muhammad, tell me. If you see Muhammad, tell me. Which one is clearer and shorter? Of course, you will go with if. In spite of, although, just like the example that we took previously, due to the fact that, because. For example, due to the fact it's raining, we can't go outside now. Instead of this long version, just say, because it's raining, we can't go outside. No. Instead of due to the fact, just say, because. Due to the fact it's raining, we can't go outside. Just say, because it's raining, we can't go outside. At the present time, now, we're eating at the present time. And just say, we're eating now. As a matter of fact, in fact, as a matter of fact, we're eating now. In fact, we're eating now. So these versions are shorter and also give a clear idea. Here are some wordy phrases that you cannot replace. You say, I think, I believe, in my opinion, in conclusion, the reason why. So these wordy phrases here, you cannot replace them with a shorter version. Here's a fun fact for you regarding idioms, of course. Laughter can be the best medicine, but there are stories about people who have really died laughing. That's why they said really died, because sometimes you said, I died from laughter. This is an idiom, of course. You didn't really die. So sometimes dying from a laugh is literal meaning, is real. For example, here in 1975, a British bricklayer had a fit of laughter while watching his favorite sitcom, a program called The Goodies. He laughed for 25 minutes and then died of a heart failure. So he was watching his favorite comedy, of course, sitcom called The Goodies. He laughed for 25 minutes, then died of a heart failure. In 1989, a Danish man is said to have died from a heart attack while laughing at comedian John Cleese in a movie Fish called Wanda. So again, in 1989, a Danish man is said to have died from a heart attack while laughing at comedian John Cleese in the movie A Fish Called Wanda. So these two are examples of the idiom died from laughter, because sometimes it is true. Sometimes it is true. You can die from laughing. As you can see here, he laughed for 25 minutes. 25 minutes. So there's no wonder that he died from laughing. If you laugh just for 2 or 3 or even sometimes 5 minutes, you'll find your body is really exhausted, and you're trying to catch your breath, and sometimes you can't get up from the place you are sitting. So imagine laughing for 25 minutes. So there's no wonder that he died from laughing. How did he die? Of course, he died from a heart failure, and the other person, Danish man, died from a heart attack. So both had heart problems. So sometimes laughing for a very long time can affect your heart, but in a negative way. That's why here it's almost when they say laughter is the best medicine, sometimes it is not if it goes for a long time. Like this person here went for 25 minutes. That's why the idiom here, died from laughing, is it's not an idiom here, of course, it's the literal meaning. And with that, we reach the end of this lesson. See you next lesson, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.